when Stephen brought us together in the most charming sort of way, oh, this is a computer rolling around. Okay, then the idea was, I suppose, I wrote to Carol and I said, what is your favourite length of a poem? And she said 28 lines. So I said, okay, well, why don't you write 28 and I write 27? And it'll be something to read at a 7-minute thing, maybe 26. But once we started, we just kept going. So we went all the way down to 1. And then we didn't want to stop. And then we continued back all the way up to 28. And I'm very grateful for Stephen to bring us together.
Yeah, just to say, 28 lines is the size of my screen. That's why I'm attached to it. And just to say thank you for this, because this is in a way now quite an old collaboration and it's going to be published, which I'm delighted by. And it began with a kind of secret ekphrasis, if I can put it that way. We had to find a place to start, so I took Jenny Saville's extremely large painting Red Stare, which is of the face of a child, a very large moon-like face, and I didn't tell George until quite some way, and so it was interesting to see what happened to that child's face as it moved through the 56 poems. So we're going to read just 4 poems from the last part of the sequence, number 51, actually. Sorry, start. Opens paler at the turn. The year finds traction, and I would stand here. Sidereal hours, shiny with beginning, call out. Mouths now dried of sound, landlocked truths in cracked exposure. Her birth marks, brighter red with winter, face rising over saturate fens, tacks to find direction, warmth of breath, where blood rises to this surface. What comes up to test in other elemental scores, eyes of catfish, unaccustomed to new light, poke the slowest subterranean gangways. Heads and whiskers, roomy flesh turns up, readying to regroup. Thick as days, their yellow rind shed, and hers venturing out, untempered, soft to what is deathless in arrival, time bent in, movement towards summer, while on her face it spreads, takes flight or flocks towards care, roosting seconds, waiting on boughs until the day gives, shadows keeping agile, accounting.
Sunblown, unseasonal, the year's breath stopped for an instant, unsteady yet breathing, light to the billowing. Look, leaves hurl themselves into small storms, the light dripping off them like rain. Where are we, she, her mouth, the dry season of mouths. Crow, blackbird, rook, cold breath, croak into dry trees. And then rain slithering down bark, blurting its glut and overflow. There is no arriving here, no here, except this prism between the narrowest of narrow, through which sound escapes, flirts with meaning, then stops short. The words slip through sidereal space, each black hole an islet, a blackbird's call, a boxwood flute, a chook, a slippage, an inside out. Unseasonal birthmark, red and rising, re-rising, a day with its red sun to begin and end with. As if voice could turn itself out, or become whistle, swoop, alarm, chook, chook, as swift as a sidereal moment within which the universe were concentrated like juice, like rain, as sun-blown as this mouth, this catfish, this perfunctory closeness, pre-funct, profruct, perfect, perfruct, preliminary, fragile.
Sunblown, refusing liking in the name of things, or touch, where voices rooked out of time, always the generational push, force and hurling air, quiet turbulence of mornings, sinecure of eyelids go on doing that work, and a heart is wilder than you would guess, missing its cue here and there. Colour inarticulate, flushing through sluices unnoticed. No resignation in her look, but fast forwarding of flutes and islets, each a run beat, each a mystery and flocking to resolve in answering faces. Wheezing rivers recover in instants, the smallest green testing how to rise given the outlook on trust. Would it thrust this way? Her face a large moon, determining what is broadcast to herself, allowing joy at distance, deep in forests never experienced, scent of dark pine, the sweat and oil of years airborne, pheromone called to what might never be the bonds of hours holding, a never perfunctory, stronger than anyone owns, snagged beneath the eyes, a red start reflecting elsewhere, rosiness woken again from sleep, that drainage of fens.
As if woken from sleep, or if not from sleep, from something resembling sleep, where the eyes are closed and the breath even and full, as at times of genuine calm, such as you need in order to enter the sleep from which you will wake, as the manifest hour, after the requisite space of unconsciousness, corridors, elephants, and a deep scent of something unnamable, poignant, and lost, like any awakening into the light filtered through the eye with its faint pillowed lid that vibrates only according to its own laws of sleep and awakening, as if woken from, as if her face a large moon, dark pine, awakening, red start, hurling air, winds drift, fallen, the moon still larger, the pine still dark as before, but lighter, brook, wood, sluice, stop, 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 and awaking, and stop, and sweat, and oil, flutes, islets, stop, the rivers, the broadcast and stopping, the moon dark and large, awakening, larger, its full, sweaty face, burned by the moon, and stop, sweat, lighter, leaf, sluice, is wilder, stop, and a gust, stop, corridor, pillow an elephant, and stop, and wake, and stop, and stop.